idea the county's going to be doing. They don't, you know, if they're not going to be cooperative and
no, I agree.
Cooperative, they can find someone else to work.
I totally agree with you, and all we can do is try to make it better, and that's what we're trying to do.
But I have to say, I think that by those questions that you asked, that's probably more.
No, wait.
The county is kind of this.
The county did not give us due process. They did not notify us. And it's still responsible.
That's another 45 seconds for you now.
My question actually is for the group that has taken this contract. Are you going to be offering all of these members of the Santa Rosa Farmers Market a spot, or is it going to be, or are the crafters out? I mean, I'm a crafter, so that's my personal interest. So,
Would you go through some here today? Would you like to answer that question?
Yeah.
My name is
Yeah,
Rob
we actually
Perry.
want you to address it.
My name is Rob Perry. I'm the spokesperson. The answer is yes.
the crafters are out.
No.
Oh,
they're
no.
in.
You'll offer to everyone who's already a member will be offered a spot.
Absolutely.
I have a two-part question. Number one, I'm curious, I'm a member of the community. I moved here about 2.5 years ago and shopped at the farmer's market. I love it. I think it's a jewel and a gem of Sonoma County, and we should be proud of it. My first part of the question is, why is there nobody from the community on the board who's an at-large member, not a farmer, whose livelihood is not invested in this? Because when your livelihood is invested, I understand that it's a very emotional thing. Maybe a member of the community could step back and put a little perspective on some things. So that's question number one.
I like that suggestion, and
I think that's
we've been
something
talking about
we can
that.
review
We want to, we want to do that. It does take a little time, but yeah, that's definitely something
The old
we
board
talked
did
about
that.
at the very beginning.
Yeah, the old board did it. Too bad you threw that one out.
Okay.
So I would just like
the
to
second
say-
part would be sort of a follow-up to what you were saying, and as somebody who's a member of the community and giving things perspective, in my professional life, I have tried to be a no-drama kind of person. I don't deal well with drama. I think we're too big for that, we're too old for that. I know it's inherent in human beings, but regardless, when I read the Press Democrat article, the big gaping hole in that article to me, no offense, was that the rent increase. I quickly did some math on this, and I'm not trying to throw farmers under a bus here, but it would have equaled like a $4 increase in booth fees on Wednesdays and about a $6 or $7 increase on weekends, and that would have covered almost the entire rent increase. And I'm not saying that, it works out to be about maybe.
It can be a statement, but you have 10 seconds.
Why does one sort of tie that in the press to make it sound?
No, let me answer that question. It's basically, that was what the rent committee was wanted to look into. That was the conclusion that they came to as being one of our options. That was what we were in the middle of reaching a consensus about, and that was the conclusion.
Okay, so, all right.
We just didn't have enough time to get it together.
Okay, but my other part of that, if I had been completely unfinished, I sort of did that math. Yes, it did come up a little short of the $37,000, but I wondered if the board had actually thought of trying some other fundraising methods in addition to maybe having an increase. Like I thought of, how about having a raffle?
Actually, we have a lot of really cool things coming about that we could have talked about had this been the way we wanted it to go. We were going to introduce our new website to you, and we do have some ways of monetizing various aspects of our website to generate funds for our farmers market. So we do have that in the works. That's here and ready to go, but I'm not going to talk any further about it.
No, that the decision was being taken out of our hands. We just basically got quiet.
I'd just like to quickly address the first part of your question or your statement. Yeah, we're the ones sitting up here, but when we're sitting in the room together, no one's bringing up their own personal businesses or lives, whatever. We're genuinely looking at problems together and trying to hash out together a way to deal with it for the best of everyone.
I just have, I'm a little confused, but isn't this rent increase something that was that the board became knowledgeable of many years ago, like 3 years ago? And now it's like 2 weeks' time to get it all resolved?
As far as we understand it, we were not aware of it until November of 2011.
When was Paula aware of it?
I'm sorry, I may be speaking out of school, I don't know. I just thought that it had come up, but the other part was, I was at the last meeting, and my takeaway was, this board and this market manager do not want to stay here, they do not want to work with the county because of the unpredictable nature of the one-year lease increase and what's going to happen with the new management here. And really, it's in the best interest of everybody to just leave. And so I went home for the last 2 weeks and was thinking, Railroad Square, Kaiser Permanente, Blackbear. I mean, that's what I thought would resolved. So I'm kind of confused why all of a sudden we want to suddenly stay here. Is it just because it's another group that's willing to pay
No,
more?
it's actually because as the rent committee did their work, explored these other venues, looked at the convenience to customers and for venues and parking and handicapped access and costs, and polled members to see what they wanted, which all has taken time to do to reach all this, that the conclusion is most people would like to stay here if we can make that happen. So once we had that consensus from the membership, then the next step was we were in the process of how to make that happen. It's just we didn't have enough time. We didn't know there was a deadline. It was never given to us. Yes.
So I'm a new member. I've been coming here for a year, and I've recently been a member of the board. And I'm kind of surprised that I would assume with a nonprofit of this stature that you would have legal counsel already at hand, that they would certainly have been involved in this process throughout the duration. Now, the plaintiffs, Lisa Ranch from that original lawsuit, it seems so conflicting to me that they're now they're involved with Mr. Hart here, who